I had a lot of good teachers who showed me a lot of things that really blew my mind and influenced me to become a writer. For instance, in the 6th grade, I had a teacher, Dennis Reese, who read the class The White Mountains by John Christopher. That was a big influence. It was just a great story. I loved it. It captured my imagination. I also had teachers who showed me Lawrence Ferlinghetti's poetry, Edgar Allan Poe's poetry. I had a drama teacher who taught me about the theater of the absurd and Harold Pinter, and things like that, Sylvia Plath's poetry. I also had a great teacher, a man named Don Pratt, who taught a class called Science Fiction that took you through the entire 20th century in terms of films and literature in that science fiction genre. And there was a short story in that class that I read by Robert Silverberg called Sundance that really blew my mind. And so all of those things sort of coalesced into making me want to become a writer. My all-time favorite author is Andrew Vax, but I have a lot of others whom I admire greatly too. I like Leonard Cohen, I like Charles Bukowski, I like Edgar Allan Poe, Lawrence Ferlinghetti. I like the monster novels of Hunter Shea. I've read a lot of new poetry lately that's been really good. There's a guy named Kurt Rasmussen and a lady named J.A. Carter Windward, who are both poets out of Utah who write just amazing stuff. There's a guy named Scott Alexander Jones who writes totally amazing stuff. His stuff is like no poetry I've ever read before. It's great. There's a guy named Volatilistic Phil who lives in New Mexico who also writes really strong, really gutsy poetry. I think in the last 10 or 15 years there's been a real resurgence of strong American poetry, but from the streets, not from academia, which I think poetry from the streets is more authentic than poetry that's in a safe, soft, comfortable, and university environment. I am currently working on 2 separate series. One is a sci-fi horror series about the Chupacabra Chronicles, and the other is a series of comic crime novels called Common Criminals. There are 6 books in each series, so it keeps me pretty busy. I was in a band back in the 80s, like a lot of people, a punk rock band. But I was never really much of a singer, more of an expressive yeller, punk rock screamer kind of thing. But it was what it was. It was a long time ago. It was 1986. It was a long time ago. Am I gay? No, I'm not gay. But if I was, I'd be John Barrowman's bitch.